Welcome to Election Night in America 2022 and our coverage of the 2022 gubernatorial elections, where Americans will decide who they want to govern them for the next 4 years. These elections are crucial in terms of deciding which party will have power on the statewide level in the 50 states. Tonight we'll keep you guys updated on all of the key races as we make our projections. And so we start off with 6 governors for the Democrats, 8 for the GOP. These are the states in which governors are elected in off years, so we will not be seeing gubernatorial elections in these 14 states. However, in the remaining 36, we will be having governor elections in them, and we will keep you guys updated throughout the night on how those races are going for the nominees. But before we get started with our first poll closings at 7 p.m. here on the East Coast, make sure to join my Discord server if you have not, the link to which is at the very top of the description below, where you can stay updated on the 2022 midterm elections, the 2024 elections. We also have a very cool mock government on there, so make sure you join my Discord server if you have not, linked at the very top of the description below. It is now 7 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we have our first poll closings of the night, with polls closing in the states of Georgia, South Carolina, and Vermont. In the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp is the projected winner, the incumbent since 2019. He will now be able to serve until 2027 as he defeats Stacey Abrams for a second time. Stacey Abrams came famously close in 2018, however she did worse than she did previously, so after losing the state of Georgia on the presidential level and on the Senate level twice in 2020, Brian Kemp will take back the state of Georgia for the Republican Party, winning almost 52% of the vote. A very good start of the night for the Republican Party. Brian Kemp, the projected winner in the state of Georgia. While in the state of South Carolina, Henry McMaster is the projected winner. He will win his second full term tonight as the governor of the state of South Carolina. And in the state of Vermont, Phil Scott is the projected winner. In this heavily Democratic state, Phil Scott will win his re-election to a 4th term as governor of the state of Vermont. Even though this state heavily leans towards the Democratic Party, Phil Scott will easily be re-elected tonight in the state of Vermont. And looking at our results here after the first poll closings of the night, 6 governorships still for the Democrats, now 11 for the GOP. It is now 7:30 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we have just one poll closing from the state of Ohio. And in the state of Ohio, we can project that Mike DeWine is the projected winner. He will now be re-elected to a second term in the governor's mansion. And looking at the results now, 12 for the Republicans, double what the Democrats currently have after the 7 p.m. poll closing in the state of Ohio. It is now 8 in the evening here on the East Coast, and we have our second largest poll closing of the night, with polls closing in 12 states, the states of Alabama, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Tennessee. In the state of Alabama, Kay Ivey will be re-elected to a second term as governor of the state of Alabama. There's absolutely no surprise here. Kay Ivey, the projected winner in Alabama. While in the state of Connecticut, Ned Lamont is going to be re-elected as well. He faced a tough race in 2018, however this November, Ned Lamont easily wins his re-election in the state of Connecticut. In the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, the projected winner, he also faced an even tougher race in 2018 against Andrew Gillum, but Ron DeSantis will easily win a second term in the state of Florida, defeating Charlie Crist, the frontrunner now for the 2024 presidential nomination for the Republican Party. Ron DeSantis wins his re-election as governor of Florida. In the state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker is the projected winner and will also win his re-election in the heavily Democratic state of Illinois. While in the state of Maine, Janet Mills in this key race is going to defeat former Governor Paul LePage. Janet Mills is the projected winner in the state of Maine and has been re-elected to a second term. She will defeat the former governor with 49.8% of the vote, a very small margin, much smaller than what we saw in 2018, but Janet Mills against LePage is going to win her re-election tonight. In the state of Maryland, Peter Franchot is the projected winner. He is going to be elected his first term as governor of the state of Maryland. He will replace Republican Larry Hogan, so this is a gain for the Democrats. However, it was a very easy one, Maryland being a very liberal state. Looking at the results here, Peter Franco with 52.6% of the vote, Daniel Cox just 46.1%, so Franchot is going to easily win his first race as governor of the state of Maryland. In the state of Massachusetts, Maura Healey is the projected winner. This is another gain for the Democratic Party. We are also seeing another Republican incumbent not running for their re-election. This time, Charlie Baker in the state of Massachusetts. Maura Healey is the projected winner as a result and will easily win the race here in the state of Massachusetts to her first term as governor. In the state of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu is the projected winner. He declined to run against Maggie Hassan for the Senate seat, but Sununu now will be elected to an unprecedented fourth term serving the state of New Hampshire as its governor. In the state of Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt is the projected winner. He will be reelected to his second term as governor. And in the state of Pennsylvania, this is a major call here. Josh Shapiro is the projected winner in the state of Pennsylvania. He will hold on to the state of Pennsylvania for the Democratic Party as Tom Wolf leaves office after his second term. He could not run for a third, but Josh Shapiro is the projected winner here in the state of Pennsylvania as he defeats Doug Mastriano by 1.6 percentage points. Shapiro does not get a majority of votes, however, he does get very close to that with 49.7% of votes, with all votes having been counted. Josh Shapiro, the projected winner in the state of Pennsylvania, the first major win tonight for the Democratic Party. In the state of Rhode Island, Dan McKEE will be re-elected, the incumbent since just last year, replacing Gina Raimondo, who became Biden's Secretary of Commerce. Dan McKEE will win his re-election to his first full term as governor in the state of Rhode Island. And finally, in the state of Tennessee, Bill Lee is the projected winner. He will also win his re-election in the state of Tennessee. And looking at the results now, 13 governorships for the Democrats, 17 for the Republicans, as they are both trying to get to that magical number of 25, in which they will be serving more states than the other. 13 now for the Democrats, 17 for the GOP, as they are both approaching 20 governorships tonight. It is now 8:30 here on the East Coast, and we have just one poll closing from the state of Arkansas. In the state of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders is the projected winner. She will win her first term as governor of the state of Arkansas. Previously, she served as press secretary to former President Trump, but now Huckabee Sanders will become the newest governor of the state of Arkansas. And this will give the GOP another governorship. They are now at 18, 13 still for the Democratic Party. It is now 9 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we have our largest poll closing of the night, with polls closing in 13 states. The states of Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, South Dakota, Texas, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. In the state of Arizona, KARI Lake is the projected winner. She will hold this state for the Republican Party as incumbent Doug Ducey cannot run for a third term. KARI Lake is the projected winner in the state of Arizona. She will defeat Katie Hobbs by a very slim 1.5% margin. None of these individuals will get to a majority, but KARI Lake is the projected winner in the crucial race here in the state of Arizona. This comes again after huge losses for the Republicans in Arizona in the last couple of years. Just like Georgia, the Democratic Party won both Senate seats in 2018 and 2020, as well as Joe Biden winning it on the presidential level for the first time since 1996 in 2020, but the Republicans will take back the state of Arizona with this win from KARI Lake. In the state of Colorado, Jared Polis is the projected winner, the only openly gay governor in the entire country. Jared Polis will win his re-election to a second term. And in the state of Iowa, Kim Reynolds is the projected winner. She will also win her re-election to a second term in the state of Iowa. As well as that, Derek Schmidt is the projected winner in the state of Kansas. This is a major projection that we have to make at this point. Yes, in the state of Kansas, the first Democratic incumbent has been defeated tonight, and that Democrat is Laura Kelly. Laura Kelly defeated Chris Kobach in 2018, winning her first term as governor of Kansas. However, in 2022 tonight, she will lose to Derek Schmidt, who wins almost 52% of the vote. Derek Schmidt will now become the new governor of the state of Kansas. This is the first Democratic incumbent to fall tonight. We'll see how many others will lose their re-elections. However, Laura Kelly has been defeated, and Derek Schmidt will replace her as governor of Kansas for the next 4 years. In the state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer is the projected winner. This is another major race here. Whitmer initially expected a much closer race. However, after a huge debacle in the Republican primary, Gretchen Whitmer will come off with almost 52% of the vote here. 51.5% for Gretchen Whitmer, 45.2% for Kevin Rinke. Gretchen Whitmer is the projected winner in the Michigan gubernatorial election. This is another Democratic incumbent here winning their re-election, as we saw Laura Kelly just lose a couple moments ago. But Gretchen Whitmer will win her re-election with a relatively strong margin. In the state of Minnesota, Tim Walz is the projected winner. He will also be re-elected to his second term as governor of this upper Midwestern state. He is going to defeat Scott Jensen with a majority of votes. Although this race is close in Michigan, it is still relatively comfortable for the Democratic incumbent. In the state of Nebraska, Jim Pillen is the projected winner. He will now be the new governor of the state of Nebraska, as the incumbent may not run for a third term. Jim Pillen is the projected winner in the state of Nebraska. In the state of New Mexico, Michelle Lujan Grisham will win her re-election. This is another major projection here for the Democratic Party. She won pretty easily in 2018, but this race was definitely a lot more difficult for Lujan Grisham. She winning only 53% of the vote. Mark Ronchetti for the Republicans winning 46% in the state of New Mexico. Michelle Lujan Grisham has been re-elected to a second term. In the state of New York, Kathy Hochul will be re-elected despite being overwhelmingly unpopular in her home state of New York. The Democrats here still chose her over Lee Zeldin as the Republican nominee. Kathy Hochul, the projected winner of New York, she will win her first full term in office after replacing Andrew Cuomo in 2021. In the state of South Dakota, Kristi Noem is the projected winner. She will win her re-election to another 4-year term. And in the state of Texas, Greg Abbott, the projected winner, he will easily defeat Beto O'Rourke. This is not like 2018. Beto O'Rourke did not do as well against Greg Abbott as he did against Ted Cruz 4 years ago. Greg Abbott easily will win his re-election as governor of Texas. In the state of Wisconsin, Tim Mitchells is the projected winner. This is a major projection that we have to make. This is the second Democratic incumbent to fall, and second of this hour as well. Tim Mitchells will defeat Tony Evers with 49% of the vote. Tony Evers, the Democratic incumbent, will lose his re-election despite defeating Scott Walker in 2018. Tony Evers wins only 47.6% of the vote. The winning party here has always been the party that is not currently in the White House, and this rule has remained the rule here in Wisconsin for the last 30 years. Tim Mitchells will not defy that, and he will defeat Tony Evers in the state of Wisconsin, becoming Wisconsin's new governor for the next 4 years. And in the state of Wyoming, finally here, Mark Gordon is the projected winner in the most conservative state in the country. Mark Gordon will win his re-election. And we can now officially project that the Republicans will govern more states after these midterms. The Republicans will now be able to govern at least 26 states over the next couple of years here. 26 for the GOP now, 18 for the Democrats, as the Republicans flip both Kansas and Wisconsin. It is on 10 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we have just one poll closing from the crucial state of Nevada. In the state of Nevada, we can project that Joe Lombardo is the projected winner. This is a major gain for the Republican Party, probably the hardest one of all of the 3 gains that they have had so far tonight. Joe Lombardo will defeat Steve Sisolak, the incumbent Democrat here, with 48% of the vote. This is a very slim margin here. Just 7,000 votes separate Lombardo from Sisolak, but that small margin will kick Steve Sisolak out of office as Joe Lombardo becomes the new governor of the state of Nevada. And this third flip of the night here for the GOP will give them now 27 governorships and 18 still for the Democrats. We are now an hour until midnight here on the East Coast, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have 4 poll closings out west from the states of California, Hawaii, Idaho, and Oregon. In the state of California, Gavin Newsom is the projected winner after surviving a recall last year. Gavin Newsom is now re-elected to a second term as governor of the largest state in the union. In the state of Hawaii, Josh Green is the projected winner. He will succeed David Ige. Currently, he is the lieutenant governor, but Josh Green will become the new governor of Hawaii. In the state of Idaho, Brad Little will also win his re-election to a second term as governor of Idaho. And in the state of Oregon, Tina Kotek is the projected winner. She will hold on to this race for the Democratic Party, replacing Kate Brown, who was relatively unpopular in the very Democratic state of Oregon. This is a key race because of the fact that Tina Kotek wins less than just 52% of the vote. Christine Drazan ran a very strong campaign in the state of Oregon. However, she did come up short with just 46% of the vote against Kotek. Tina Kotek will now become the new governor of the state of Oregon, succeeding Kate Brown. We can now project also that the Democrats will govern more Americans after these midterms. In the 50 states, the Democratic Party has about a 10 million people edge over the Republicans. Democrats, we can project, even though they won less governorships, they will still end up governing more people at the end of the day for the next 4 years. And looking at this map here with the West Coast now filled in, we have just one more poll closing from Alaska, 21 for the Democrats, 28 for the GOP, and we're waiting on that final state where Republican Mike Dunleavy is expected to win his re-election. And it is now 1 in the morning here on the East Coast, and we have just one more poll closing from the state of Alaska. In the state of Alaska, Mike Dunleavy is re-elected. This is not very surprising at all, even though he was running against former Governor Bill Walker. Mike Dunleavy is the projected winner and will be re-elected to a second term in Alaska until 2026. And looking at our final map here for the 2022 gubernatorial elections, 29 for the GOP, that's a net gain of 1, 21 for the Dems. The GOP were able to flip Nevada, defeating incumbent Steve Sisolak, Kansas defeating incumbent Laura Kelly, and Wisconsin defeating incumbent Tony Evers. The Democrats were able to flip Maryland and Massachusetts with no Republican incumbents running. The Republicans will not lose a single incumbent governor tonight, while the Democrats lose 3, giving the GOP a net gain of 1 at the very end of these elections. And looking at the percentage of Americans that will now be governed by Democrats and Republicans, 52% will be governed by Democrats, 48% for Republicans, and the total turnout was 97 million. That's approximately 40% of all eligible voters.